See the box showed up. And welcome to the first episode of Wize and Papi J, or Papi and J and Wize, whatever you want to say it
You
is.
could put you first. It's all right.
It don't make a difference. But we're here live at PODFEST, and I hate that box in the way. Anyway, so we have a special guest on. She's a fellow podcaster from
Fellow New Yorker.
Yeah, she's originally from New York, yes.
Fellow New Yorker, you must say that.
Originally from upstate New York, absolutely. Yes. Colorado the last 27 years, now in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Nice states. She's skipping. Coming from upstate, like that's a skip.
World traveler.
Two good ones.
So let them know your name.
My name's Angie, and I have a podcast called Life, Love, Music, and Space Travel.
And when she told us that title yesterday, it was like, "Oh shit, we want to know about space travel. We want to know about space travel."
We definitely
want to know about space travel.
The space travel component is exciting. The podcast itself encompasses a lot of stuff based around mental health and life experience, and the space travel piece. I'm just going to put it out there, is my ketamine infusion component. Life-changing, life-saving.
Tony Kaz said aliens. That's what he put in.
That's my man.
Aliens.
That's my man Tony from the Pod Guys.
When you hear space, people think aliens.
I definitely visit some aliens, I think.
But yeah, we're here live from PODFEST. This is been a great experience for us.
Yes.
We've been having a great time. We've learned a lot. Is there anything you learned while you was here?
I did learn a lot. This is my first PODFEST. I have attended She Podcasts in October last year. So I've been to a conference, but what I learned, just putting it out, I think the most important thing I've learned is about growing community on the podcast platform, but also this, the networking piece and meeting my people.
And this is what we love about this, is that we got the opportunity to sit down with some amazing people. I actually got to meet some people that I've recorded with that I didn't meet live, and so to be able to meet them and talk to them and actually
really pick brains,
and actually grow relationships that we've been growing over. Like I had Jeff DeWalskin on. He was one of my first guys that
shout out to Jeff.
Big shout out to Jeff. He's actually one of the first people that I recorded with. He was a guest on my show, and to be able to meet him in person and to talk to him and hang out, it's been a great experience. And then a couple of people that I admire, that I like Alex Sanfilippo, I consider him a mentor. He's the creator of Podmatch, which is a platform I use to get guests on my podcast. To actually be able to sit down and talk to him and meet him, that was a great experience as well.
I met some good people, very enlightening people, friendly. Like I put up last night, it's like, good. This is what we should be like in every city. No matter what color, no matter what age, no matter nothing. It was just beautiful. There was no type of any negative vibe. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to be bothered. They isolate themselves, but you didn't get that energy. Like, stay away from me the whole time.
There's a lot of humility.
Yes.
With everybody that I met, I find there's there's not a status level. People are just with each other. Everyone's really willing to talk to you. It doesn't matter celebrity level.
It didn't matter.
A-lister.
It didn't matter how long they've been podcasting. They could have been podcasting for 20 years, whatever it was. They're still humble. They're still the regular people that they are back then when they first started. They're still the same people now. So to be able to communicate with those people and learn and grow from them, because he never did TikTok, right? He did his first TikTok yesterday, which was dope. We had a great time doing it.
And she was trying to get me to do another one at the party. I was like, nah, you ain't gonna get me on the dance floor. I told her I would do it, but not on the dance floor.
But actually, for him to do the TikTok, because when we went to the TikTok course, his question was, how do I do TikToks without being clowny? That was his question.
My image is serious. You know what I'm saying? I prefer not to be.
So Tony would tell you, Tony's like, why is he always angry?
I'm working on it, Tony. That's why I haven't podcasted in a while. But image to me. I just don't want to be. I don't think.
You want to be considered
the
serious.
gimmick stuff is good, but I'm at an age where I don't got time to be jumping around and doing. But the way she taught me how to do what we did was insane.
So Tony says always.
I'm not angry, Tony.
He's just passionate, Tony. He's
I'm passionate. That's my
He's
new
passionate.
word. Very passionate about everything.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Did you have a favorite session? There's so much going on.
Oh man, what blew my mind was the Amazon influence program, because we have heard about it and stuff like that, and most of the equipment I purchased, all the stuff you see here, I got it from Amazon. So why not take advantage of the fact that I have it, start doing reviews, start getting paid for it, like make up the money that I spent to get this equipment. And so when they told us that you can get money from Amazon, and then brands, then you can get side deals with brands who are gonna want you to. We're like, okay, yeah, we signed up for the Amazon Influence Program. We both got accepted into it the same day, so we're both excited. We're like, when we get home,
I'm recording like 10 episodes. I got so much. I'm recording the battery I bought, the drill I bought. I'm recording and as long as it takes for me to. And why are you so angry? I'm not angry, Tony. I am not angry, Tony. But like, I got so much like real tools that I can literally just take the batteries and show you how one battery is different from the other. And so I can do that. I can spend I can do an 8-hour shift of just recording 15, 20 minutes of everything and then just release it and still do your other stuff. But if they click on it, and then they purchase it, now you get a percentage. So now you're promoting their stuff. And that's way better than what we doing on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all the videos on YouTube, I ain't make a dime. All I gotta do is talk about my drill, and I get a potential chance of a check. Oh my God, I'm about to be I called everybody I know. Yo, you bought stuff from Amazon? Yeah, let me know how you felt about it. I just want the good review ones. I'm not trying to slander nobody, but the Amazon affiliate, the Amazon influencer thing is like.
Shout out to Jennifer. Was it Millionaire? Jennifer Millionaire. Yes, she's the one who had you. You was on her live yesterday. Doing her influencer. Yes, right. That's her name, Jennifer Millionaire.
Nah, it's not Jennifer. Dude. I'm not gonna say it. You're not gonna get me to say her name, bro. Not on the live.
Not on the live.
I just said
I'm almost positive it's Jennifer Millionaire, but hey,
Kimberly.
There you go.
My bad.
All right,
okay, sorry, Kimberly. I apologize if you are seeing this.
There you go. Yeah.
We apologize.
I knew it wasn't Jennifer. I'm like
Kimberly Millionaire.
Yeah, but she's like she said, you could just do she said too. She said that recording thing is, you could start with that before you do the Amazon Live and start doing lives. Like get used to just. So I figure I'll do it that way. I'll make descriptions about it, and then I'll go into doing live, like figure out the setup.
Yeah, you know what we do? You know what can we do? Is like we can do the recordings of the reviews, right?
Yeah.
And go live and play it.
But I'm talking about like the live would be more demonstration for me. Like the way I got it in my head is like I could give you a review on these letters I bought from Amazon. But to show you how I got it on a shirt and how easy it is to just make your own clothes.
You get to do it all. I think that's the cool thing. So to bring in from the perspective of, I love having a podcast. I love being able to talk about my interest, whatever the topical stuff is for the podcast. But to bring in the idea of monetizing it, which is I think what we all have an underlying interest in.
Yes.
It's pretty easy. So in order to use your podcast, you bought the computer, you bought the phone, you bought the hat you're wearing or the things that you like, and to be able to just incorporate that into, you don't have to make the whole thing geared directly to selling something. Yeah. But it all falls right in line. And what a spectacular.
And if you bought it and you liked it, I went and told somebody about, he told me about the mic. He bought it. He told me. Yeah. Now, if he would have recorded telling me,
there was
that's it. It's a potential check right there.
I went to a session yesterday where the guy talked about building a community and how important it is, especially in this area, because then you're selling your stuff to people
Yeah.
And people are trusting you from what you're, which is pretty cool.
Definitely. And that's one of the big things. Like I said, it's one of the big things, being able to network with people I've actually met on Zooms through when they had like newbie sessions for PodFest. I entered some of the Zooms, and I got to meet some amazing people like Larry Roberts. He's somewhere around there. I don't know if he's still out here, but he's dope. I had got uh, Jen Hardy. I don't know why I was thinking of Wendy Coke when I Coke, Wendy Coke. I was thinking of Wendy Coke when I met, but Jen Hardy, who has the Hardy Moms podcast, she's dope, and and to be able to connect with these people and tell your story and develop these friendships and relationships. Again, it was worth coming down here. Being able to come down here and meet these people and connect and network, which was actually our goal was to come down here and network with as many people possible. And so to be able to do that and grow the relationships that we already some of the relationships we already had to take it even further. So I'm just excited for when we get back home. Like we really have to implement everything we learned. It's just not to just go back home and just sit on all this information. The goal is to take all this information that we receive and start implementing it and helping us grow our brand, grow whatever we're trying to build. And so, because like we have a production company, and we was wondering like, oh, can we price this? And then we come down here and we're seeing prices people are charging. We're like, man, we're underselling ourselves.
Right.
Like
Way
we're
underselling.
underselling ourselves. Like the
Nice.
prices, like the prices we're offering people is like, you charging how much for that?
Bro,
I'm like,
they
what?
got prices that just that shit that we
I'm like, yo,
look at
y'all know,
just for audio.
y'all know I'm an independent podcast and I'm not making no money right now. So the prices they have, so we know that our goal is not to charge that much because we know what it is to be an independent podcaster and not have that kind of money to pay that kind of money. So yes, so we might undersell ourselves a little, but that's just because we're not trying to become wealthy off of other people. We just want to help them, but at the same time, you have to pay us for our time.
Absolutely.
So
Stop
we're not
being
going to
cheap.
There's
That's
a
it.
balance. There's a
It's
balance of worth.
If you need artwork, but you can't afford certain things, then you just I gotta get good artwork or attract the people to my channel, and then they'll see that I have shitty equipment. But at least they're on your channel. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure out how to get them to your channel. So it's a lot of the nuances that come with is what I learned. Like the things that I used to overthink of how to do it. It's not really gimmicky. It's just I learned here just look at your audience and figure it out in a different manner instead of just reaching out and trying to accumulate mad audiences. You want to speak to, like you said, you got one person that listens to your podcast, but you know everything you say goes to that one person. That's enough. I used to always say I got 60 subscribers on YouTube. I'm excited every time I went up a 10. I was like, oh, like yo, somebody be like, oh, you only got 93. I'm like, well, they listen. I don't know about the other thousands that you got, but I know this 93 is checking me out because I did nothing.
and that's what some of the people said is like, yes, there's people out there with thousands of viewers, whatever, but how many of them are real super fans? Like how many of them are real loyal that if you told them, hey, I got this out, they'll go out and purchase it. Saying? And so it doesn't really matter how big like your audience is. If you have those super fans that are loyal, they will help support you. They will help build up your channel, and we have some amazing fans.
I was scared to do the influencer thing because I knew I didn't have a lot in my head. Even though while he was talking, I was like, "Dang, I ain't recording like almost a year. Like haven't touched the lounge in a year. They might deny me. Like I'm sitting here applying for this, like I just gonna get in, and they didn't deny me because I guess they looked at the end. When I do record, I record, and when I do, and the listeners they could probably tell what listeners is real listeners, what listeners is bought listeners. So don't be scared to apply for any type of affiliate or influencer thing with your Amazon account because it's your Amazon account.
And that was spoken to about as far as building the community, the importance of the community, because those people, when you go away for a little while, they're still together, sort of, waiting for you to come back and record something else, or what else do you have?
I'm always honest, though. I tell them I'm going through stuff. I'm not going to sit here and try to podcast, or I got to I'm what OCD. So if I'm going through something, I gotta address that. I can't come home and then podcast and act like nothing has happened. That's my only thing that is reason why I just took a break. But now I'm gonna read.
And honestly, I'm thinking about going more lives because I love the interaction. Like we have people like Tony. Tony, every time we go live,
Yeah,
Tony's there. No lie, he's always there, and we appreciate that from him because we know he supports us. Every single time we've been on live, Tony's been on there.
Yeah.
And so we cannot. It's like he's one of our. So we support him the same way. Even though his show comes on way past my bedtime.
So way past your bedtime.
Way past my bedtime. I'm saying.
Well, I appreciate you guys having this forum. I am not familiar with the live forum, in truth, but what you just said is something that I need to think about. Building that community, being able to interact with people is the biggest deal.
Yeah.
And to have a one-on-one, I have tried to do the Facebook Live stuff every now and then, and it's neat to see people pop on.
Yeah.
I do it from the ocean side and try and bring a little bit of vitamin C to people. So it's my small experience with it, but it is the coolest thing to have somebody out there who's spending time with you, waiting to interact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares about what
and they said it. They said it too. Even if you don't interact now, when the show is over, go check you and start shouting them out. Thank you for coming in. That's all it takes is a thank you.
So big shout out to our man Tony Cass for coming through and showing us love, man.
And I promise when I start recording again, you're gonna see that I am not angry.
Look at the smile.
I smile even when I'm angry.
Okay, let's not
smile at
not
passion.
angry.
I
He's
smile when
angry.
I'm passionate.
I
smile.
But now, what Tony say there?
I feel like if you like the end product of your show, whether you have 10 or 10,000 views, listeners, it is what people strive for.
Yeah, facts, man, definitely facts. It's because, again, we've been doing this for 2 years now, and we have people that follow us religiously. They follow us, they support us, and so to have those people, and we don't have the biggest followers. But the followers that we do have, again, I said, they're loyal, they're dedicated, and they come on, they shout us out. And it's crazy because you would think your family and friends would be your biggest fan, right?
Yeah.
Right? This is what we think. This is what we all think.
Yeah.
But that's not reality. Because they figure that, hey, I know you. What are you doing the podcast? Or what are you doing? So then I can't say not all of them because my sister always supports us. She's always tuning in whenever she can. My wife, even though she doesn't watch my shows, she is my biggest fan. But there's other members we reached out to, and they're like, okay.
Right. My mom listens, but she's like my one loyal family listener.
I honestly don't know who listens to me, but I know they won't tell me. I don't know. I know my key fans. I know I got key fans. Genya is a key fan. I have
big shout out to Genya.
I have truth, there's quite a few women. I ain't gonna say all these names because then they're gonna think I'm some type of womanizer, and I'm definitely a feminist.
Yeah, it's interesting the idea of listening.
I am a feminist. I try to make sure they get equal pay for everything.
No, it's definitely important. So, listen, anyone who's out there even thinking about starting a podcast, just press record. Like, what's the worst that can happen? No one listens to you. Okay. So everybody thinks that
somebody for everybody.
Listen, everybody thinks that once they start podcasting, they're gonna get 10,000 downloads in the first week. That's not gonna happen unless like you're a celebrity or you have the big backing of a machine like Spotify or Apple. You gotta grow your audience.
And I will say, if you pay attention to the landscape and the trajectory of things, everything is gonna be podcast anyway. It's gonna be an app. Everything's gonna be on an app. There won't be
tired of
TV actors.
You know what? Listen,
everybody's gonna have a podcast telling something from all the TV secrets.
Because you know what? Because us independent podcasters, we have our ears to the street. Like we're all
reporters.
So they rather get the news from us because they're getting it straight from the streets. They're getting it straight from the people. Whereas you go to a news station or whatever, you're gonna get what they want to spew to you.
The
You're gonna get
the left and the right.
Yeah,
you're gonna get the left and the right from news.
Yeah, you're
on
gonna
TV.
get the
You
news.
don't get the middle ground.
Nah,
No, you don't get the people. You don't get to
You
hear
don't
the
get the
people.
people. You get the left
You get
and the right.
You get the left and the right opinion.
And they're working together anyway.
Yeah.
I swear.
No,
you know.
you're
They take
absolutely
vacations
right.
together.
You're absolutely right. they on TV they fight,
Yeah.
right? On TV they fight.
Then they go in a conference room and drink like us.
They're the back chilling, counting the money. Like, yo, what lobbyists you got today? Oh, I got the NRA. Oh, who you got here? Oh, I got this person. Oh, yeah, we got Power and Energy, whatever company.
Speaking of NRA, nice
so,
segue.
okay.
Let's
So-
get to some real stuff. We
all right,
already
so-
shared enough.
Okay, so this week has been crazy week, right? You had the Uvalde, Texas shootings, and
I mean, this month. Let's just go the whole month.
because we also have Buffalo as well.
Let's
Yes,
just go the whole month.
but it's crazy because the shootings happened Tuesday, right? The NRA, not even 300 miles away from where the shootings happened, held their convention, and President Orange was in attendance, and he gave a speech. And after
President, all right, she looked up.
after
We don't say his name. We don't say his name.
after he gave his little speech and he mentioned the kids' names, President Orange decided that he was going to do a little dance. And first of all,
In celebration.
I don't know what the hell was it for. He shouldn't have danced. Period. Matter of fact, they shouldn't have even had that convention because these
They
kids.
shouldn't
and
have
these
had him there either.
it's not even that. Not.
Because he ain't President Orange right now. We got the old president.
But okay, yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna leave him alone
All
right
right.
now. We're not gonna discuss
All right.
his issues. But again, some of the performers dropped out who are avid NRA members. They just didn't feel it was right for them to perform with these kids not even being buried yet, with these teachers not even being buried yet. And so it's just been crazy. And now we just had a shooting in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So listen, I am a registered gun owner. Let's put that out there. I am a registered, and so I wouldn't want anyone to take my weapons. No. But there has to be something. There's something has to be done where these youngsters who can't purchase liquor, some of them can't sue the Fed. None of these things over the counter, but yet they can go and buy a gun legally without checking their mental stability, without doing proper background checks.
I think you definitely got to have a psych eval.
Listen,
By some real people. Like,
And
don't have
so-
NRA people. You got to have a psych eval separate from NRA that you have to go through two channels now instead of just dealing with NRA and the gun store.
There definitely seems there are many holes in the process. I think if I'm mistaken that you can go to a gun show, and I could be wrong, and purchase like a gun past an older age, or I don't know. I mean, it just seems like there are way too many ways to get a gun, and there's not enough background checking. All of the process should not be easy.
I heard somebody say it's easier to get a gun than it is to get baby formula.
Absolutely.
That's insane.
That's the real deal right now.
That's
Baby formula,
insane.
You cannot get it.
You can't even feed your baby, but you could go and give these kids guns to shoot shit.
And I am just going to chime in really quick because I do feel like, at least from my perspective, the piece that continues to be missing, and you touched on it, is prior to getting the gun, we're missing that mental health piece. And we talked about this a few years ago. The mental health piece was loud in the world. I don't know if it was prior to COVID, something had happened. I feel like everyone was kind of on the ball because something has to come. Something happens before you go out and get the gun. Something happens before somebody notices something in the person. And it's not just young people; it's definitely older people. There's a lot of unwellness. The world is in,
And I do believe that parents should be held more responsible as long as the child is under their roof.
Absolutely.
I think if my son, I don't care how old he is living under my roof, then I should be held accountable if he go in my gun closet
So I came from Colorado. We had the Columbine shootings when this first started a long time ago. Those two kids lived in a very affluent area of Colorado, and there was a lot of, what do they call it, the latchkey syndrome. So here's a lot of stuff going on. Parents are out working, and there's a strange break in the system, I think. So parents are out working, you're trying to provide, but there's a level of detachment. If you don't know your kids are about to blow up, and cause some serious tragedy, there needs to be a level of accountability. There's a lot.
Definitely. And so, listen, this has been great. We've had a good time doing this episode. Appreciate you for coming through, Angie.
Thanks for having me.
And listen, hopefully next year we get to do this again. I will be properly equipped.
We.
But anyway, it still worked. I got it to work.
Dude, why you even brought it up? Because I told you
I
I don't talk
I
about that. I don't talk about that in public. That's what I'm saying. It's a behind stage thing that I do.
Okay. But no, listen, we appreciate you coming through. We appreciate the love. Maybe one day we can return the favor and go on your show. Because I definitely want to go to space. I told you, anytime. I definitely want to go to space.
Listen. I listen, whenever you doing a show and you feel you're ready to like interact with people, like I said, I'll be your guest. I like this. I knew this would be the experience I need to get back at it. You know what I'm saying? Like I kept telling myself I'm a pod, I'm gonna get back at it. And this right here got me ready to go home and like go right now.
So before you close out, I do want to throw a few things out there from the perspective, if anyone out there is thinking of starting a podcast or has stepped away from their podcast, there is, make yourself important enough or your interest important enough to put yourself at the top of the list and come to PodFest. Come to place yourself in the element.
I love shows on aliens.
Do you? Find your local clinic.
Find your local planet.
And YouTube for a couple hours at a time for a pretty feasible cost. But yeah, record the episode. Do the thing, put yourself out there.
And that's where it starts. Is press record. That's how I started. Like when I first recorded my first episode, it was like 5 minutes long, and I had the mic to this little Behringer studio equipment. I had the phone. He was actually on the phone talking into the mic, and I'm talking into the mic, and we did 5 minutes. And so my next episode went to 7 minutes. The next one went to 10 minutes, and gradually, the more I got more comfortable recording, the longer the episodes became. So, listen, all it takes, if you seriously want to become a podcaster or a YouTuber, whatever it is, press record.
And don't be let down by the first interview. Tell them about mine.
So yes.
Before we go,
we'll tell you about this story. So he interviewed this man that he was financial specialist. Anyway,
financial specialist or something.
So he sends me the interview. He says, "Yo, I want you to check this out."
Because I felt bad. Something about the interview I didn't feel right, so I didn't put it out. I said it to him. I said, "Yo, check this out."
I go like, no. He says
he took over my show. I didn't even know how to interview. That's why I don't interview. I never really.
He's like, I'm not an interviewer. You are. I'm like, yeah, don't do this.
Yeah, that's how I knew interviewing wasn't for me. I like to talk.
It was just because he felt like, to me, he didn't feel natural. He didn't feel like how he usually is, like how he is now, just having
freestyle. Fun. I don't do studio.
He just couldn't.
Paperwork.
He didn't know how to control the show. He didn't know any of that, how to do the interview. And I'm looking at him. I
felt like I was on his show.
I'm like, man, you suck.
But look, listen, that one experience could have deterred me from podcasting. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to just go through the motions. You might not be an interviewer. You might be somebody that's good at selling product. You might be somebody, you got to find your niche. And it was just me being able to not have to be scripted.
Well, that's why you got to keep doing it, because it's about going through the process. Does it get messy? This one didn't work for me. I didn't like how this worked out, but you just don't quit in the beginning. You keep going.
Oh, definitely. And again, anybody out there, what you doing, man?
I didn't do that.
You got to go turn the switch over. Hit the thing. We're still live. Turn the knob. See the knob up there by the button?
This?
You see the button, right? Don't press the button. There's a little round thing around it. There we go. I didn't say that, man. She said a button. Get away, get away, get away.
This is your camera. I keep telling people,
people.
don't send a rookie to go check out the camera, man. What's wrong with you? See, that's why you are
Is it
the
working
man.
now?
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
You sent a reject over there to go mess with a camera you never seen before.
Even though we know he's not the tech person, yes.
Definitely not the tech
He's
person.
not, we know he's not the tech
Tony,
person.
have a good day at work. Stay safe. Be safe in your area. Everybody be safe in your area, man. If you see something suspicious, just
You're not snitching. Just it's not snitching, man.
It's called saving lives, man.
Safety first.
Yes,
Saving
definitely
lives,
save
man.
lives.
We ain't telling you to go out there and be a cop. We're just saying, come on. You see a guy walking with a big ass bag, very hot.
And a trench coat?
Yeah, just tell the story, man, and close the doors. That's it. It's nothing wrong with being a little safe. It's not scared, it's safe.
Stranger danger.
Definitely,
You can't be the AK. I don't care what gun you got in your head. You better be a sniper. The AK, all you gotta do is squeeze.
All right, but shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to Wifey. Shout out to, I can't shout you out because you're with me, but we got to shout out our partner, Brandy.
Yes, shout out to Brandy. Shout out to Angie. And we definitely are going to collab with Angie because collabing is how we all help each other come up.
And plus, we like Angie. She's cool. She's mad cool. So
I mean, I wouldn't collab if I didn't like the person.
Yes,
but
is true.
You got to collab, man.
True.
People got to stop acting like you too good to be on somebody else's show. Like,
and if anyone wants Angie on their show,
holla at us.
Holla at us. We'll holla at her. We'll hook you out because she is a dope person to have on your show.
You want to visit?
And if you want to talk about
space,
she's the one to talk to.
She's a lot cheaper than
what is it?
Virgin
Atlantic or Elon Musk.
Yeah, she's a lot cheaper.
Much cheaper. You won't be spending millions or billions, whatever they pay to go into space.
And you don't have to get high to do it.
And it'll help with your mental health.
Yes. And that's what we're key here. We're big on mental health. We're definitely big on mental health.
And tough love.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess tough love.
Yeah, tough love. I'm big on tough love. And mental health. Sometimes you got
not me so much. I might punch somebody in the face.
That's not tough love. Tough love is verbal. Once you go physically, now you're fighting.
There's a few people I recently I did want to punch in the face. I'm not gonna, and it's yeah.
But this was great.
Oh, this has been dope. This has
our
been
first
great.
live outside of our cribs.
Yeah.
I apologize ahead of time for grabbing the mic, moving around.
Oh
man,
like.
we don't care about
our
that.
followers know we always we learn.
We just had technical difficulties. It was like nothing because we've had plenty of technical difficulties. And we
show your mistakes.
Listen,
show you how to get through.
So yeah, that was the thing when we first started. I was like, all right, I'm gonna release it. He's like, nah, man, let's wait till we get better. Like, nah, man, I want people to see that we suck and how much we've improved because we suck.
Yeah,
like,
you go to our first episode.
We was horrible, but now we've like gained our presence. We know that. Listen, this is easy. We having fun. Yeah, you're killing me so much with your phone right now.
You said you was cutting it off anyway, right?
Right. But everybody, peace out. This is the premiere episode of Papi J and Wize. We're gonna have more shows coming out.
More topics,
definitely more topics. We wanted to do more topics here, but it's cool. We did what we did. We had a great time.
Yes, we did.
It took me a little bit of time to get this all set up. But now that I know how to set it up, we are good.
Yay, podcast.
Yay, podcast.
Big shout out to everybody at PodFest. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. This has been dope. And it's your boy Wize. You know how I do it. Peace out. End the broadcast. Don't not. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while since I did this.
Peace out.
That's what I try to tell you. I haven't